Hi, in today's session, you will be able to apply geometric methods to create composite structures as solutions for the design problems utilizing real world context and review all the related rules and formulae. So let's quickly jump to the first question of the day. A countertop for a kitchen is modeled with the dimensions shown below. It's in the shape of something like L. Even at my home, the kitchen top is designed in L shape so that more space for cooking and cutting the vegetables and so on. And I see that there is a sink in between somewhere in the middle. Okay, this is the sink. So, suppose if the engineer, when they are working, so to provide some space for the sink, they have to cut it. They have to cut that. Say that you take my kitchen example, everything is made of some marble, and next in the middle, if there's marble, I can't put any tap or thing, right? So for the sink purpose, we have to cut some part. Here it is. Cutting and removing means we have to subtract, right? So the question is, what is the area of the top, the installed countertop to the nearest square foot? So when it comes to calculation part, now I'm dividing into three parts. I see that this is a rectangle, right? And this is the other rectangle. This is the other rectangle, which is in yellow color, and the sink is the third one. So let me label this one as A, B, C, D. This is one rectangle. So let's start finding piece by piece, piece by piece. So first of all, let me find area of a rectangle ABCD. Rectangle. You know area of rectangle, that is length times width. Therefore, it is 9 feet, and width you see that it is 3 feet. Therefore, 9 feet by 3 feet. 9 times 3, that gives you 27 square feet. Okay, 27 square feet. So we are done with the upper part. Next, coming to the second part, I see that C, maybe CPQR. This is another rectangle. So the upper rectangle and this the other rectangle which is at the bottom, that is I'm talking about this one, if these two rectangles are they are joined together, that means it is to be added. So let's find area of this rectangle. Okay, so this is area of rectangle. It is PCQR, PCRQ, PCRQ. This is length times width. So length is actually 6 feet. It is 6 feet, but you cannot take 6 feet. The reason is when AD is 3 feet, the opposite side this is also 3 feet, right? And the total is 6 feet. The total is 6 feet. Therefore, totally 6 feet means the remaining part, see 3 and 3 together, that makes 6 feet. Does it make sense? Here, total is 6 feet. So here already 3 feet are taken. 3 feet are taken. How do you know that this is 3 feet means? You can compare with this. That is 3 feet, and the remaining part 3, so that the total is 6 feet. This is 3 and this is 3. Therefore, length and width are 3 feet times 3 feet. 3 times 3, that is 9 square feet. So, here, L shape means the horizontal one and the vertical one, these two are to be connected, attached. Therefore, these two are to be added. Therefore, 27 plus 9, that gives me 36 square feet. Right? As I mentioned before, here, this part, the sink is to be, some part is to be removed. Okay? Therefore, for providing sink, this part is to be removed means then they have to cut with a machine and remove. So cutting and removing, so taking away means we have to subtract. Well, and here I see that the dimensions are 21 inches by 18 inches. So all these previous measurements are in feet, but here it is in inches, right? No problem. So let me label this as L. Already we used P, therefore L M N K. So let's say KLMN. So area of rectangle equals to rectangle KLMN. Again, it is length times width. Therefore, length and width are 21 inches times 18 inches. But as I mentioned before, the units are in inches. In order to convert into feet, 1 foot equals to 12 inches. So always remember this point. Inches are smaller units than feet. If you are converting from smaller to larger units, you have to divide. As I mentioned before, 1 foot equals to 12 inches, therefore 21 over 12 and 18 over 12. Here, 21 over 12, I believe it is 1.75, but still let me check. 21 divided by 12, yes, it is 1.75. Therefore, it is 1.75, 18 over 12, it is 1.5. Now it is converted into feet. So 1.75 and 1.5 feet. Now all are in terms of feet. Therefore, let me compute what is the area by multiplying length times width, which is 1.75 times 1.5. Therefore, 1.75 times 1.5, 2.625 square feet. This is 2 point, my bad. It is 2.625 square feet. Okay. As I mentioned before, here the sink area, this part is to be removed. This part is to be removed or cut and remove so that we can provide some space for sink. Therefore, removed means subtract. So from 36 square feet, take away 2.625. Let me do that. 36 take away 2.625. Then 33.375. 33.375 square feet. The question is to the nearest 10. So to the nearest, to the nearest square foot. Therefore, 33.37, if I round it, I hope you remember how to round the numbers. Therefore, excuse me. So it is, I would say that 33 square feet, very spacious kitchen countertop. Okay. So let's go to the next question. As I mentioned before, please send an email if you have any questions, or else you can type in comment box. Let's go to the next one. A scale drawing of Mr. Bay's bedroom floor is shown below. All given dimensions are in feet. Okay, so 7 feet, 12 feet. You see that whatever the measurements are given, these all are in feet. Okay, so all intersecting line segments shown are perpendicular. Perpendicular means 90 degrees. Mr. Baya wants to completely cover the floor with square hardwood tiles, something like laminated tiles. Very good idea. Each tile has a side length of 1.5 feet. How many tiles will, oops, my bad, this one is supposed to be Mr. Baya need to cover the floor. Actually, there is a condition that, please remember this one, that is number of tiles needed to cover, number of tiles needed is equal to area of the room or the area of room over area of one tile. Area of one tile. So, this is the rule you have to remember. Again, let me give you an idea that this room is to be covered by tiles of this kind. Okay, just I'm giving you an idea. Who knows, you may become as an engineer, then you may have to compute all these kind of things. So here 1.5 long and 1.5 wide. So these kind of tiles, how many tiles are required? How many tiles are required? So as I mentioned before, you have to find the area of the room. Okay, so how to find the area of the room means, let me clear off all these, just to give you an idea I have drawn. Okay, so I can divide the given room into two parts. Let's say that here I'm drawing. Do you see that there are two rectangular parts? So let me label this one as, let's say, A, B, C, and D. This is one rectangle. This is one rectangle. And this is the other rectangle. Okay, let's label this one a letter. So there are two rectangles. The first one is ABCD. Otherwise, let me take a highlighter and oops. This is one rectangle ABCD, and the other one is unshaded. Well, now I'm going to label this one too. Maybe already we started with the letter C. So let me label this as C. Oops. It is CEFG. So there are two rectangles we see now. Now, what is the length of ABCD? If I combine these two, I'll get the total area of the room, right? Therefore, let's start with this one. Area of rectangle ABCD equals to length times width. So length I see that 18 units and width I see that 5 units. Therefore, it is 18 feet times 5. You can make use of calculator. I know that it's going to be 90 square feet. Okay. And next, the small rectangle part. Length is 7 units. What is width means here width is not given. I know that the total is 12, but this piece is not mentioned. What is the value of this? In a rectangle, opposite sides are equal. Therefore, here, if DA is 5 units, the opposite side is also going to be 5 units. We know that the total length is 12 units. We know that the total length, you see that the total is 12. Out of 12, I know that this is 5 units. This is 5 units. So what is the remaining part means? You know the total length is 12 and if some part is 5, obviously the remaining is 7 units. Does it make sense? Now, let's compute the second rectangle. What is the area of this one means? Area of CEFG is, let me take it as length times width, which is 7 feet long, 7 feet wide, 7 times 7, 49 square feet. Good. So what is the total means? You know, by combining these two, we get the total area. So 90 plus 49, it is 139. Yes, it is 139 square feet. Well, so we got what is the total area of the room. Then how about area of the tile, which is in the denominator? Area of the tile. Okay. Again, I'm repeating. Let's say that this room is to be covered with 1.5 by 1.5 tiles. How many such tiles are required? So length is 1.5, width is 1.5. These are square tiles. Okay. So let me let me do the calculations here. Area of tile. Again, length times width, or maybe side times side. It's one and same. Length times width, which is 1.5 times 1.5. That gives me 2.25 square feet. Again, during testing, in case if you come across if the given tile is in inches instead of feet, don't forget to convert from inches to feet. Well, now almost we came to the last step. The last step is area of room, already we computed here. Next, area of tile we computed here. So just let's plug in these numbers and compute. So what is area of room means? Already I told you that it is 139 square feet. 139 square feet. What is area of one tile means? It is 2.25. Okay. So let me grab my calculator really quick. 139 divided by 2.25, it is giving me 61.77. 61.77 tiles. But you know, if you go to shop, you can ask, you can buy one tile, two tiles, but you cannot ask 1.5 tiles kind of thing, right? In case if it is a partial, that means a part of the tile is required, still you are forced to buy, the complete tile. So instead of 61, we say that the number of tiles required are 62. If there is any extra part of the tile, then the mason, then they'll cut it and they'll fix it. Okay, that's it. So let's go to the next question. You know, as shown in the diagram below, a landscaper uses a cylindrical lawn roller on a lawn. The roller has a diameter of 9 inches. Most of the time, whenever I see the diameter, immediately I compute the radius because that avoids a lot of mistakes. So before continue reading the question, let me write the details. Diameter is given as 9 inches. Therefore, radius equals to, I hope you know that that is half of the diameter, which is 9 over 2, or maybe you can write as 4.5 inches. and width is 42 inches. Okay, so width of the roller, I see that 42 inches. Okay, now let me take the roller part. Okay, let me take this one. Already I have given an example. See, this is the shape of a cylinder. This is the shape of a cylinder. Suppose if you put this way, see, this is the width of the cylinder or width of the roller, right? But if you turn it this way, the width becomes as height. The width becomes as height. Again, I'm repeating, this is the width of the roller, cylindrical lawn roller. See, you know this one rolls this way, but if I put it this way, this is the height. So, for computation purpose and formula purpose instead of width, let me change this one as height. This one as height of the roller. Next one, to the nearest square inch, find the area of the roller covers. You know, when the roller is rolling on the in the lawn, what happens is this part comes in contact with the ground. This part, we call this as a curved surface area. Curved surface area. In short, we write this as CSA. So, CSA of a cylinder. Please remember, this is in the shape of a cylinder. The formula is, in my previous session already I mentioned, 2 pi times radius times height, 2 pi RH. 2 times what is pi value means 3.14. What is radius means, you know, it is 4.5. And next, what is height means height, you see that 42 inches. So just plug in these numbers, then you get the what is the curved surface area of the cylinder. So it is, let me use my calculator, 2 times 3.14 times 4.5 times 42. Okay, then the answer is 1186.92. 1186.92 square inches. Okay, next, so it is one rotation, this much area is covered. Whereas the question says that in 9 rotations. So again, I'm repeating, in one rotation, the lawn roller covers this much of area, then 9 rotations, how much area is covered? I'll give a simple example. You know, what to do means here really slightly difficult for us to imagine, whether addition, subtraction, multiplication kind of thing. Let's say that the cost of maybe a sandwich, the cost of a sandwich is, let's say that $2. What is the cost of 3 sandwiches? Please see that one rotation and 9 rotations. If you are not getting the idea, then think of a question which is slightly similar but with small numbers. Let's say one sandwich is $2. What is the cost of 3 sandwiches means? I'm sure that you can guess that it is $6. Yes, it is. How did you get this $6 means? Did you add, did you subtract, did you multiply, or did you divide? The answer is multiplication, right? 3 times 2, that gives us 6, right? So basically you think of a small, think of a question which is similar with small numbers. Once when you get the idea, you think, did I add, subtract, multiply, or divide? So once when you get the idea, the same thing we are going to do. Do you see that? One rotation, this much, 9 rotations, how much means this is similar to our example. So this one we have to go for multiplication. So 9 times 1186.92 is to be multiplied. So let me grab my calculator. 1186.92 multiplied by 9. It is 10,682.28. This number looks so big, but please notice that the answer, whatever we got, it is in terms of square inches. But if you convert into square feet, when you convert into square feet, that number becomes too small. I mean, too small means it is reasonably sounds good. Okay, so again I'm repeating, this is not a rocket science. You find the curved surface area and how many rotations the landscaper is rolling, or how many times he's rotating, then just multiply with that, as simple as that. Okay, so let me go to the next question really quick. A cube has a surface area of 256 square feet. What is its volume? So, a cube. I hope you remember how the cube looks like, or else let me go for a cube. There is a cube. Let me try it again. Okay. Please excuse me if it is not really good, but it looks okay. Okay. So, this is the cube. Now, the question is, a cube has a surface area. Surface area means, look at this one. There are six. There are six faces. Six faces. You look at this cube. Okay. Okay. So one face is at the top, one at the bottom. So two faces, right? And next to sides, one front, side, at the back. So four faces. So there are total six faces. Please notice that every face is a square. Every face is a square. What is the area of a square? Means you know that area of a square equals to side times side. You have seen that there are six faces. So what is the total surface area? Means total surface area equals to, let me write that, total surface area equals to, there are six squares. Each square is you know that how to find the area of a square, which is side times side. Okay, therefore six faces, therefore it's going to be six times side square. It is given that 256 square feet. Okay, and what is the volume? We know that volume equals to side times side, and maybe length times width times height, right? But for that, we should find what is the measure of each side. Well, I see that surface area is given as 256. So let me write that 256 equals to 6 times side square. 6 times side square. You know how to isolate side? We divide by 6, then we get that side square equals to, grab my calculator, 256 divided by 6, 42.66. This is 42.66. As you know that if I want to eliminate square, the other side I'll get a square root, right? Therefore, square root of 42.66, that gives me the value of side. So square root of 42.66, that's 6.53. Therefore, side is 6.53. The question is, what is the volume? Just now I figured it out. What is the side? So it is 6.53 multiplied 6.53 times 6.53. Let me make use of calculator. 6.53 times 6.53 times 6.53, that is giving me 278.44. 278.44 cubic. The units are, it's given as feet, therefore it's cubic feet. That's the answer. Okay. Well, let's jump to the next question. A rectangle's length equals to 2.5 times of its width. In my previous sessions also already I mentioned, if there are two elements, one is length, one is width. By the way, length is not given, width is also not given in this question. Then how to figure out means usually the one which is coming in the second position, that is to be assumed as a variable, usually as x. So let's say that let width of the rectangle equals to x units. Now, don't hesitate to write the whole statement, this one, the whole statement. You write it. That is, length equals to, my bad, some part is missing, 2.5 times, 2.5 times its width. So the whole statement is copied. Later on, you may you may make this one into bits and pieces, like maybe each and every word. This is how I prefer. I'm making into bits and pieces. Let's see how it's going to end up. Okay. Now, see, length, okay, equals to, so let me put equals to symbol, 2.5. Two and half. 2.5 means you may take 2, 1 over 2, or maybe 2.5. Okay. 2.5 times means that it is multiplication. It's width. Already we assumed the width as x, right? Therefore, length is 2.5 or 2.5 times x. The next statement is its perimeter equals 4 times length minus 30. So let me write that perimeter equals 4 times 4 times its length, minus 30. Just like the previous statement, I know that most of you, even I was a little discomfortable while solving the word problems. But if you split this one into bits and pieces, what happens is that makes your job much, much, much easier. Okay, so now let's write this one. Perimeter equals to symbol 4 times. So 4 times its length. So we thought the length is 2.5x, right? So 4 times 2.5x minus 30. So minus means subtraction sign 30. 4 times 2.5, you may make use of calculator. What is 4 times 2.5 means? That is 10x minus 30. But an important point we skipped, that is perimeter. What is perimeter means? You know that it is twice length plus width. Twice length plus width. Now, let me plug in that twice length and width. Earlier we thought length as 2.5x and width as x, right? So let's plug in those values, length as 2.5x plus width as x. One more important thing is if there is no coefficient, you take it as 1. Even in my previous session, several times I mentioned that if there is an apple, one apple. Okay. Why you are asked to take the coefficient means like 2.5x plus x means it is difficult. Whereas 2.5x plus 1x, 3.5x, right? So it's easy to compute. So 2 times 2.5 and 1, that makes 3.5x. If you want, you can make use of calculator. 2 times 3.5, that gives you 7x. So at this point, now the calculations, just let me copy this one here down, which is 10x minus 30. Okay. So once when you get this one, you know how to isolate the variables, or else you know how to do the jugglery part. So let me take away 10x here. Let me take away 10x here. This algebra part, I'm pretty sure that you can do it. So 7 minus 10x, this one I'll get negative 3x equals to negative 30. Okay, so uh, when I take this one, then you know how to isolate x. Division by negative 3, division by negative 3, therefore the value of x equals to negative 30 divided by 3, that gives us 10. Yay, we are done. But the sum is not yet over, because you have to be really careful and you have to read the question carefully. Obviously, for sure, in the given options, 10 will be there, but 10 is not the final answer, because the question is what is the area of the rectangle. Come on, I hope you know that area equals to, let me write that, area of rectangle is length times width. So length, again, we thought as 2.5x and width we thought as x. So let me plug in those values, which is 2.5x multiplied by x. So 2.5, you know, the value of x you got as 10. Therefore, in the place of x, take 10 times x times 10. Let me make use of my calculator. 2.5 times 10 times 10. It is 250 square feet, whatever the units it may be. Therefore, 250 I got by using my calculator. If it is inches, then take it as inches. If it is feet, then that's the area. But again, it's a gentle reminder. For sure, in the given options, there will be 10. Don't get tempted, because the question is you are asked to find the area. You are asked to find the area, not the value of x. Okay, so let's quickly go to the next question. There are 3 more questions to complete the session. Suppose you are painting one side of a house, what area is to be painted? I see that this one is consisting of 2 parts. One is a triangle. One is a triangle. Do you see that? This is a triangle part, and the lower part is a rectangle. So if you find the area of triangle and area of rectangle, these two together, that gives you the total area. Simple, right? Any questions on this? So there are 2 parts. First one is, I see that it's in the shape of a triangle, and the second one is in the shape of a rectangle. If we combine these two, we'll get the total area. Therefore, area of a triangle, area of a triangle, you know that it is base times height over 2. What is the base means? Actually, here the base seems to be missing. The base seems to be missing. But actually, whatever the base is here, the same thing is applicable here, right? Therefore, base is 50 units. And what is the height means you can see that it is marked as 12. Therefore, 50 times 12 over 2. You can make use of calculator. I'm sure that it is going to be 300 square feet. So this is part 1. Coming to the second part, this is the rectangle. It's easy to compute, because area of rectangle equals to length times width. So those measurements, I see that 50 feet is the length and width is 21. So let me take my calculator. 50 times 21, 1050. So this is 1050 square feet. If this is to be painted, area of triangle and area of rectangle, these two together, that gives you the total area. Therefore, 1050 plus 300, that gives you 1350 square feet that is to be painted. Okay, so let me quickly jump to the next question. From a point on the ground 25 feet from the base of a waterfall, the angle of elevation is 51 degrees. Okay, so there is a waterfall. It's not so good. No problem. So here, this is the height of the waterfall, and someone is standing. Oops, my bad. So this one is the height of the waterfall, and next, let's say that someone is standing 25 feet away from the waterfall, and they're making an angle of elevation is 51 degrees. Again, I'm repeating, the distance is 25 feet and the angle of elevation, that means from bottom to top, if you are looking, that is called as angle of elevation, which is 51 degrees. And the question is, what is the height of the waterfall? Actually, this falls into trigonometry. So if you are taking the side next to this one, this is called as adjacent side, and you are asked to find this one. This is the opposite side to the angle. So where do you find opposite side and adjacent means? Think of SOHCAHTOA. Opposite side and adjacent. Where do you find means? Yes, think of SOHCAHTOA, SOHCAHTOA. I see that opposite side and adjacent are tan. Okay, so tan 51 degrees equals to opposite side to the angle over adjacent side. Let me make use of the values. Opposite side, I don't know, so let it be x. What is adjacent means? You see that 25 units. And tan 51, let me make use of calculator. Tan 51 degrees, 1.23. And here onwards, it's very easy. You know that how to isolate x. So if I take times 25 on both the sides, the value of x can be found. So 25 times 1.23, that is giving me 30.75. Always don't forget to mention the units. I see that here 25 feet. Therefore, the height of the waterfall is going to be 30.75 feet. Okay. Now, quickly to the last question for this session. You are standing on a footbridge that is My apologies, it is 22 feet, typo error, 22 feet above a lake. You look down and see a duck in water, which is 18 feet, which is 18 feet, typo error. Okay. What is the angle of elevation? Again, please notice that you are asked to find the angle of elevation, and this is the opposite side to the angle, and this is adjacent side to the angle, right? Just now we had a discussion, we thought of SOHCAHTOA. Where do you find opposite and adjacent side? Means obviously tan. Therefore, tan, I don't know what the angle is, x degrees equals to opposite over adjacent. So tan x equals to, what is opposite means you see that 22 feet. What is adjacent means you see that 18 feet, right? Earlier also I mentioned that please remember, if you are asked to find the angle, you have to move this side, and whatever the fraction decimal is there, you have to move to the other side. Then we write that tan inverse, and swap the values, 22 or 18 here equals to x degrees. Already explained how to use online calculator, but here I'm using my TI-84 calculator. Tan inverse 22 divided by 18 equals to 50.71. Therefore, the value of the angle is 50.7 degrees. Okay? Okay, that's the last question. Okay.